I probably discovered that a couple months ago, where when you download something, there's an arrow up on the ruler. And so I can just grab it and attach it to my email at that point, instead of having to go into the Finder and then downloading it from there. I can just quickly download. So I love that feature.
Welcome to Macpreneur, the show for seasoned solopreneurs looking to streamline their business on a Mac. Unlock the secrets to saving time and money with your host and technology mentor, Damien Schroers.
Hello. Today I have the pleasure to introduce Charisse Walker. Charisse is a powerhouse businesswoman with a unique perspective on business, life, and motherhood. As a divorced mom, former corporate executive, remarried mother, and children ranging in age of 9 to 34, Charisse knows the difficulties of returning to school while working full-time, juggling a career and a family, being a single mom, and dealing with special needs children. She is an author, investor, TV host, and coach on real estate, business, and relationships. Charisse, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So Charisse, let's go directly on to your current Mac setup. So which Mac are you using to run your business?
So MacBook Pro is what I have. And I bought one. My other one I gave to my kids. He actually ruined it by spilling water on it. And so he got my old one, which I was happy to give. It was several years old. And then I bought myself a new one about a year ago.
So it's most probably one of the M families of chip, an Apple Silicon. Did you notice a difference in speed between the old one and the new one?
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. I'm like, this is heaven. So it's a chip M2 Pro. I don't know. I'm not. But I absolutely love it. But I'm almost out of space already. So it's like I've been downloading stuff and I wish I had a little more space, but it's okay.
Do you know how much space did you get? How much storage you bought?
So 16 gigabytes wasn't very much.
So that's the memory, and the storage. Was it
the memory?
256 gigabyte or 512 gigabyte?
Yeah, it was 256.
256, yeah. So it's most probably the base model.
Yeah, it was.
And depending on what we do, sometimes it's okay. Huh? And so how do you cope now then with that storage, that lack of storage?
I have an external hard drive and I just download all the stuff and I delete. I tend to be a hoarder, and stuff that with my business, like I'm constantly downloading documents that I don't need to keep because they're stored in something else. So I delete a lot.
Yeah. So let's go back to in history and your first Mac. Right? When did you buy your first Mac, and what made you go with the Mac platform?
So, sad story, I guess. I had a really good friend that she asked me to be a business partner with her. And I was only supposed to put in, a little bit of money into the business. And I ended up putting like 8 times what I was supposed to put into it. And so as I went away to my husband's graduation in California, and I came home to find she shut the business down. And so owing hundreds of thousands of dollars to many people, including myself. And so she gave me one of the MacBooks from one of the employees. And that's honestly how I got the very first MacBook. And so people would go, well, you have a Samsung phone or you have a watch. How come you have an Apple computer? And I go, hey, this computer cost me $156,000. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah. So ever since then, though, I guess it was I always look for the silver lining. And that honestly, I love Mac. I could not go back to what I was using before. It's great.
And so since then, do you still have a Samsung, or did you switch to iPhone in the meantime?
No, there's a reason I have a Samsung, but actually the next phone I get, I am switching to Apple. So yeah, I've decided to go to the dark side is what I always thought it was.
Yeah, I imagine it must be quite difficult now to synchronize stuff between the Samsung and the Mac. Or did you find any application to do some synchronization and so on?
Yes. So a lot of the stuff, so I'm a realtor and a lender. And so a lot of the stuff I do is online anyway. So my BombBomb videos, Vimeo that I use, SkySlope that I use for my business, like a lot of that, the Google Photos, all of that, it just automatically downloads into it. And then somehow, I don't know how, so this is something I'd love an expert to teach me, but all of my emails from my phone are going into the Apple, like the Outlook email. So I've got like 50,000 emails sitting in this application on my computer. Clearly, I use Gmail and other ones too. But yeah, so somehow it's all syncing and it's still okay. But I know it could be more efficient. I'd love to have my text messages on my computer as well. And I don't.
Yeah, that's a hard one for text messages. That's why I guess switching to an iPhone will help a lot. Yeah. Otherwise, I would say with WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, right, you could install the native application on the Mac and you have the mobile application on your Samsung. So that would work. But everything that is simple SMSs, right, these kind of things, is very hard to synchronize between Android or Samsung and the Mac.
Yeah, I agree. I've decided, I think my husband, I synced it because he has an Apple phone. So his syncs to my phone, my computer for things like that. But anyway, yeah, that's the one thing I wish I had that I don't.
Yeah, small tip. Apple is offering a native Android application to move to the iPhone from Android. So if you look in the Google Play Store, you should find an Apple, I don't know how it's called, Apple Migrate or Apple. It's something to migrate to iPhone, basically.
Really?
And so if that application is running on your Samsung, while you will configure for the first time the iPhone, as long as they are on the same Wi-Fi network, there is a mechanism to pull information from your Android device, from your Samsung, and import that into iCloud. Yes.
Okay. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's my aha. Yes.
Very good. And so so then you stuck with the MacBook Pro. Is it the same as the one that? No, you actually you bought a new one. Yeah.
The other one was the silver one. That's the very, very base model, I think. And so this one's got it's a really sleeker look, and so it's definitely heavier and more heavy duty. And so it's hard for me when I go and work on those other ones. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so much better than mine is. So anyway, it's great.
Yeah, that's more a call to all the listeners who are still on Intel MacBooks, Intel machines.
Yes.
You don't know what you're missing.
No, you don't. Heaven is what it's been. And I know if I upgraded even more, it'd be even better. You know what I love about Apple, though, and the MacBooks is, when you have the other product, when you open it up, it takes several minutes to go through everything and to start up and do what you need to. And that is honestly what I love about the MacBook, is that when I open it up, I can get started immediately. I don't have to wait for it to run and do all these things. So that's been one of my favorite. That's actually what hooked me in the beginning.
Yeah. So let's talk about apps then. So once the MacBook has booted and you are on your Mac, which apps do you use the most for your business?
Besides Gmail, besides the Gmail accounts. So Zoom is a huge one. I'm on that quite a bit. Adobe Acrobat, I love. I'm just looking at like everything in the bottom. So I actually deleted GarageBand because I thought I never use that. My son does. But when I deleted it, I realized that is tied to several things that I actually do need. Also my microphone or something, somehow it goes in. So I reinstalled. And so even though I didn't know I was using GarageBand, I guess I am using that. And then my son uses that quite a bit. like I talked about before, bomb video, anything with the videos, because of what I do, there's a lot of that. Canva is something I love. So those are just some of the programs, but they're apps that are on my computer. I think Apple Podcasts, clearly because I have a podcast, so I do that as well. So in the Sky Slope, because of what I do. So those are some of them.
I'm curious, do you listen to podcasts on your Mac or is it mostly on your phone?
No, just on my Mac.
Just on your Mac, okay.
Yep.
It's interesting because I'm listening to podcasts. I have Pocket Cast that I use on my iPhone, and I don't think I've ever listened to an episode on my Mac.
Really?
No.
Wow. Interesting. Well, I think, let's see, because I have to say, I'm going to cheat and look at my phone real quick. And there is, no, because I use Audible. So when I'm driving and stuff, I have my books on tape. And so I'm listening to Audible. And so when I'm home and I'm doing like busy work and stuff, that's where I'll pull up the podcast on my computer. So, because my phone is used a lot and I'm texting, I'm doing a lot of phone calls and stuff. So if I have to pause, I don't know, it's easier for me to be on my computer.
Okay, very good. So apart from the haha moment that you had a few minutes ago, what other tip or trick did you discover recently on your Mac?
Okay, well, this one also happened with you. So, I mean, you've taught me a lot. I'm glad I've met you because I had no idea that you will echo if I don't have earbuds in. And so that's something, because when I do my recordings and stuff, sometimes I am echoing or there and we can't figure it out. So it's good to know that it's because I need to be using earphones. So that's something that was a total aha. I'm trying to think what else. With the Finder, like the Finder where you're looking for your documents and stuff, I think I'm starting to learn new ways to do that as well, where obviously you've got, what is it? The documents, but I can find it, like if you go to like Charisse Walker, my whole drive, then I can find stuff easier there. Sometimes when I know I just downloaded it, how come I can't find it? And then the other little arrow, I probably discovered that a couple months ago, where when you download something, there's an arrow up on the ruler. And so I can just grab it and attach it to my email at that point, instead of having to go into the Finder and then downloading it from there. I can just quickly download. So I love that feature.
Yeah. So Finder on the left side is called the sidebar. And the top part of the sidebar is basically a bunch of shortcuts called favorites. Right? The top part is favorites. And then afterwards, what do we have? I have it here. We have iCloud.
Siri. Yeah.
We have iCloud underneath the favorites. And then we have locations where you have the Mac, external drive, and so on. And something maybe you know or you don't know, but if there are folders that you visit very often, you just need to go once and show the parent folder so that you see all the different subfolders, one of them being the one that you visit a lot. You can drag and drop that folder from the middle part of Finder onto the favorite side on the left next to it. If you pull that one folder between two existing favorites, you will see a pin-like symbol or icon. And what you do that is creating a shortcut to that folder. So you pin that folder on the sidebar, and the next time you open a Finder window, on the left you will see, let's say, documents or my documents or something like that. And yeah, that's a little trick to save a little bit of time when there are folders that you visit very often.
Thank you. That is fantastic, because there's one particular folder I use all the time, and sometimes, because I've opened a whole bunch of other stuff, I lose that. And so thank you. I will absolutely do your little trick. Aha, again.
Well, yeah, you have to really be careful, because if you pull it on top of an existing folder, you will move the folder, which is not what we want. You will need to put it between two existing shortcuts or underneath the last shortcut, so that it's really a pin-like icon. Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Very good. We're almost at the end of the show. Last question, which is about the things that actually you may want or you would like to improve or be better on the platform. So if you were in charge of the Mac division at Apple, what would be your first priority?
Yeah, so I'm really happy, I have to be honest. And I probably don't know what I don't know, because as you can tell, I'm not like this big techie person when it comes to that. I just need it. I don't game. I don't do any of that stuff. And so I think for me, I would love to be able, now that we're getting into the, hey Siri, do this, or hey Google, I would love to be able to like speak to my computer and say, pull up this document or pull up this. Instead of me having to go and find it, I'd like to be able to just talk to it and have it pull up for me.
Yeah, that would be really good.
I know. That'd be fantastic. And then yesterday, for the first time ever, so maybe you could help, like I was in the middle of typing something and doing something, and all of a sudden my computer went to sleep. Like it just died. It's never done that before, ever. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, please restart, please restart. And it did. Everything was fine. I got to restore my pages, but that was scary. So maybe, again, talk to me and tell me that it's going to sleep or that it's rebooting because it's overworked and it needs a break. I don't know.
Was it doing an update? Possibly. No, it was not.
Clearly it had to have been, but there was no warning. Like first, because I have two screens. So first my screen in the back went dead. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. And then all of a sudden my computer went dead. I'm like, so I'm sure it was some type of reboot, but normally it'll give you like an option and you can sleep it or whatever. No, it decided to reboot. So interesting.
Yeah, with Siri for the moment, we can ask a few questions. We can interact with some applications, but when it comes to file management, unfortunately, that's not yet. I would say not yet at the level. Maybe in the future. I don't know if you've heard about Apple Intelligence. So it's the AI features that Apple is slowly implementing in macOS. And my hope is that in the future, with Apple Intelligence, we will be able to do exactly that, right? Find the last 3 documents that I worked about Project X or Client Y or something like that, even if they are in different folders, subfolders.
Right.
Yeah, that would be really good.
I agree.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Where can people find you online?
Well, Charisse Walker is my Facebook. Charisse Walker #1, like the #1 would be, somebody already has it. So that's on my Instagram. And then just Charisse Walker in LinkedIn. So you can find me, or CharisseWalker.com. So I'm trying to make it easy for anybody.
Well, thank you for coming on the show and sharing how you are using your Mac to run your business.
Thank you for doing this. This is fantastic. I think it's great information, and clearly you know a lot about it. So I like how you build on what I say and teach more. So that's great. Thank you.
My pleasure. So for the listeners, if like Charisse, you would like to be on the show and also share how you are using your Mac to run your solopreneur business, it's simple. Just visit macpreneur.com/apply. If you are on Podmatch, just click on the button and you will land on the show profile page. Otherwise, fill the application form and I will get back to you within a few days. Once again, it's macpreneur.com/apply. In the comments below, please share your main takeaway from this episode, and if not done yet, please subscribe to my channel so you will get more helpful tips on how to run your business on your Mac. And until next time, I'm Damien Schurz, wishing you a great day.
Thank you for watching the Macpreneur podcast. If you've enjoyed the show, please leave a comment and share it with a friend right now.